What is up, everybody? It is Carson and Sammy. We are the complete couple. In this video, we're going to give you a full 2022 Vegas overview. We're going to discuss the hotels we stayed at, the restaurants we dined in, drinks and bar recommendations, some other hit Vegas spots like the Link Promenade, Forum Shops, and Arts Districts, 2 brand new Vegas shows, some gambling highlights, differences in taxi and Uber rates, our flights, and just a general overview with some tips and tricks that will help you along the way. Alright, so let's jump into our rooms. For this vacation, we stayed in the Bellagio as well as the Aria. Our first stop was the Aria. We have stayed in the Aria before. I have heard that it is going downhill on some reports, but I will say I found it to be very upscale and clean. I would definitely stay there again. Some nice things about the room. I think there's ample space. The iPad is really nice, helps you control all the blinds and all the settings in the room. Always, of course, a mini bar. Be careful. If you open that mini bar, you're going to be paying for pretty much everything in there. It is pressure sensitive. A beautiful bathroom. I thought they did a really nice job with the tub and the shower. I will tell you this, if you're going with friends or groups, there's not much privacy with the glass that they put in these showers, so that's pretty much one person bathroom at a time. Then going down to the actual overall view, it is a beautiful hotel, very bright and light, feels upscale. Again, would stay here again. Great job.
All right, so for this trip, the second hotel we stayed at was the Bellagio. I personally was really excited to stay here because we never have stayed in one of their rooms. We do go to the Bellagio a lot to play on their table games and honestly just to visit the hotel. Overall, the hotel is stunning. If you haven't been to the conservatory, it's amazing, breathtaking every single time. They change it for each season. As you can see here, this is the summer season. It was jungle theme. It was absolutely stunning. So we do love the hotel overall. It is a big hotel, so keep that in mind. It's a lot of different paths you can go. It can be a little confusing because it's very large. Now on to the room. To me, the room was small. It was kind of lacking excitement and overall kind of dark. They did say it was a newly renovated room, so I would say it was clean. However, it was dark, there wasn't much to it, it was kind of small, and it just didn't really do anything for me. I will tell you this, the shower was huge, it was really nice. It was a very bright bathroom, which was nice. But overall, just wasn't really worth our money, we felt. Also, a side note about the Bellagio. The elevator ride up to your room is the shakiest, most unstable thing ever. You could see me here. I was hating it. And also the hallways to get to your room, there were so many. It honestly made it kind of confusing to even know which way to go. They all looked the same. So just something to think about if you are staying there. So between the two, the Aria was definitely our favorite.
Alright, so now let's jump into some drink and bar preferences. We definitely have a tip right here that is going to help you not break the bank on your Vegas trip. Every time you go to Vegas, you're tempted to just run up to the bar, grab a drink, and one beer at that bar is going to cost you about $10. A wine's going to be about $20, so you're spending roughly $30 for a set of drinks. Our tip is if you run right down to the little shopping center that they have in every hotel, a large 24-ounce beer will run you $9.99. They also have a special where if you buy 2 beers, you get a free shot. So for roughly $20, you're getting 2 24-ounce beers as well as a shot. You're saving tons of money. Another great tip, which I have not seen before in past Vegas experiences, is that people are now actually selling beer and seltzer out of coolers on the Vegas Strip. I was a little hesitant at first, but I wouldn't be anymore. I bought tons of beers from them. It was 1 beer for $4 and 1 seltzer for $5. So you're getting an ice cold beer or seltzer for half the price of a regular bar.
So now we're just going to quickly run through some of the new things that we decided to do this trip. The first place we wanted to try out was the Arts District. I've heard a lot of unique things about it and we wanted to give it a shot. However, we went on a Monday, I believe, and everything was closed. We tried to go to Makers and Finders. It was an hour-and-a-half wait, and everywhere else on the Strip was completely closed. So I wouldn't recommend maybe go on a weekend. We also tried to go to the Strat, which we've never been to before, so it's the Strat Hotel. It was bizarre. It was completely empty. As you can see here, the hallways were dead. There was lots of empty spaces. I wouldn't recommend going out of your way to come spend the day here unless you want to do one of the thrill rides at the top. Now, on a side note, the new Las Vegas sign that they spent $6 million on is right outside of it. So if you are looking for that, that is where you're going to find it. This next spot we have been before, but we haven't been since they've finished all their upgrades. So we went to the Link Promenade and it was beautiful. They had all these new lights installed. Everything was lit up. It was exciting. It was definitely like the heart of Las Vegas feel. Lots of new little shops and all kinds of things you could go into. So I would definitely recommend checking it out if you haven't been in the past year or so. And the last new thing we did this trip is we took a taxi down to the South Point Hotel and Casino. When I tell you it was slammed, it was slammed. It was crazy, super packed, not a spot in the house. Definitely a little dirty. I don't know if I'd really go back. There wasn't much to do. There was a cool bingo hall. We unfortunately missed the bingo time. And there was a really nice bowling alley. So if you do like bowling, it was actually a pretty fun time bowling. Overall, South Point Hotel, probably wouldn't really go back.
So now for everyone's favorite topic, Las Vegas food. We tried plenty of restaurants and are going to give you a great overview. First, we're starting at Scarpetta, which is in the Cosmopolitan Hotel. This is our second time at Scarpetta. We've sat at a bar booth both times. Great seating, great atmosphere. Make sure you try their focaccia bread as the starter. It's fantastic. And then we also did a Caesar salad, good but a little salty. For our mains, my wife loves the lamb bolognese. She's done it twice and would get it again. I did the short rib agnolotti. I would say it was a little sweet. It's more like a mini ravioli, almost like a dessert pasta, so on the sweeter side. Overall, Scarpetta is great, worth the price, and would definitely come back again. So for our next evening, we ate at Smith & Wollensky's, which is inside the Venetian Hotel. This is definitely more of an upscale steakhouse. For an appetizer, we did the carrots, which honestly were underwhelming and definitely undercooked. For our mains, my wife did the Snake River Farms Wagyu filet for $90, and I did the New York strip for $90. Truthfully, at $90 a piece, these were tough and definitely underwhelming, even at medium rare. The highlight for dinner was probably the truffle mac and cheese, which was great. I would say Smith & Wollensky's was overpriced and definitely underwhelming. I do not know if I would go back.
Taking a little intermission on dinner places, it's time to talk about my favorite topic, which is brunch. So the first brunch place we went to is Sadelles, located in the Bellagio. It's actually inside of the conservatory, which made it even more beautiful. So we walked inside. It's very stunning. It's classic. It's chic. We sat down, and the first thing we ordered to start was actually an avocado toast. It was absolutely unbelievable, melt in your mouth. I would definitely recommend. That being said, I did order a black coffee and a mimosa, but I will tell you, you'll see at the end of this video, definitely overpriced, maybe drink beforehand. Carson got the steak and eggs. It's actually cheesy eggs, and he said it was absolutely amazing. He ate every bite of it. He said it was super tender. I got cheesy eggs with sausage, hash browns, and I actually switched my bagel to a side of tomatoes, and as you can see, they gave me so many. They were amazing. Overall, all the food was fantastic. Probably my favorite brunch spot ever in Vegas, and that takes a lot for me to say. So I would definitely recommend Sadelles in the Bellagio for brunch. The next place we went for brunch was Mon Ami Gabi. We have been there before. We went for dinner, so this time we did sit out on the patio, which was beautiful. We both ordered the steak and eggs, and it was absolutely amazing. It came with these roasted tomatoes that I really liked. Also, the steak was so tender, it may have been more tender than my $90 steak from the night before. I also ordered a side of avocado because I just love that with eggs. Carson got the same thing. He absolutely loved it. He really liked the jam on bread. I was too stuffed to even make it to that. They gave you a ton of food. So overall, it was really good and another great spot for brunch in Vegas.
All right, next we went to RPM Italian. It is a brand new restaurant that just opened in the Forum Shops. It was absolutely beautiful here. They had an outside sitting area. We opted to sit there. For our appetizer, we did the bruschetta. It was more of a tapenade and wasn't necessarily a thick bruschetta, but it was amazing. We also did the dry-aged prosciutto. I highly recommend. I'm a prosciutto eater, and it was amazing. And then also we did meatballs. These things were huge. I did not expect it, but let me tell you, they were melt in your mouth. After that, for dinner, Sammy did the real carbonara, which they actually broke the egg in front of you. They stirred it. It was amazing, great presentation. And then I opted for the lobster pasta. It was a rich but amazing meal, and the lobster was definitely sweet. Totally recommend this restaurant. It would definitely come again. We finished off this beautiful trip with dinner at Yellowtail Sushi in the Bellagio. One thing I will say is if you have a chance, sit outside, you can view the fountains. We started off with the edamame, which I would just say was a standard edamame. It was good, not necessarily great, but was definitely good. We did the miso soup, definitely rich and one of the better miso soups. Then we did the gyoza. Those were fantastic. I would definitely get the gyoza again. As far as entrees, I did the shrimp tempura roll as well as the toro tuna roll. The toro tuna roll was melt in your mouth. I've never had anything like it. It was very good. Shrimp tempura, I would say, was a standard shrimp tempura roll. It was good, but nothing special. My wife, Sammy, she did like 8 tuna nigiris. She's funny. She likes tuna nigiri, and she does a side of avocado. She ate every one, so I would imagine they were fantastic. Definitely come back again.
Also, a random little side note to finish up our food section. I got hungry, so I got queso to go in the Flamingo from Carlos and Charlie's, and honestly, it was fantastic. I've never had any of their other food there, but if you are there, maybe that's a good place to go. Try it out and let us know in the comments.
All right, so now we want to really quick discuss taxis, Ubers, and Lyfts. Taxis right now are costing about $8 to $12. The best part about them is they are right out front of the casino. So as long as you're going to stay on Strip, I would definitely take a taxi. Make sure you bring cash, though. If you use a credit card, it is a $3 fee. At home, we do normally Uber. However, in Vegas, it is very difficult to find the Uber and Lyft spots. Also, the wait times recently have been outrageous for taxis and Ubers. So if you're staying on the Strip, I'd recommend taxis. However, if you are going off Strip, I definitely recommend doing an Uber. For ease, taxi. If you're going off Strip, Uber.
Alrighty, and now on to shows, which we have done a ton of. It is one of our favorite things to do in Vegas. So this time we went to the Mad Apple in New York, New York. It is a brand new Cirque du Soleil show. It was fantastic. The line was a little long to get in, so get there early. You're also gonna wanna get there early because the stage is actually a bar until the show starts. So that was really cool, as you can see here. They're also really interactive while you wait for the show to start. They have people coming around with games and all types of things. Overall, it was amazing. There was some crazy acrobatics. The comedians were hilarious. The host was just absolutely insane, but in a good way. Definitely more of like a party, upbeat vibe. Honestly, there was just tons of amazing acts back to back. Personally, we both agree it was the best Cirque du Soleil show I have ever seen in Vegas, and I would say we've seen pretty much now about 80% of them. So amazing show, definitely recommend. Go ahead and get those tickets for that show.
All right, and for the other show that we did this trip was AGT Live Las Vegas at the Luxor Hotel and Casino. Let me be honest with you, another home run winner in the show category. We have seen so many Las Vegas shows, and this has to be one of my tops. If you are a fan of AGT, I would 100% recommend going to this. So some of the highlights, they had Light Balance, which are the dancers that dance to the music and light up, which is pretty cool. The Clairvoyance. They had Cody Lee, who plays the piano, incredible. Duo Transcend, the acrobatics. Deadly Games, they did some really cool stunts with some knives, and it was just incredible. And then their finale is always the last winner of AGT, and while we went there, it was Dustin Tavella. He is the magician, and all in all, just an absolutely incredible atmosphere, a great show, and I would highly recommend going to AGT Live at the Luxor. All right, so now we're going to do a real quick recap of some table games and slot machines. So overall, casino, we absolutely love Vegas. It's always fun and mesmerizing. The slot machines are always fun to stare at and play. As far as slot machines, we didn't have any large wins. We do always pretty much bet the max, whether it's $2, $4, $5 per game. We did hit plenty of bonuses, no hand pays, but enough to keep us alive and playing. I would recommend not playing the slots at the airport. They were pretty much terrible and pretty much sucked our money dry. We did hit, I think, one $250 Wheel of Fortune win, which is rare for us. But needless to say, other than that, pretty much sucked our money. As far as table games, Sammy was killing it at the $50 blackjack. Our recommendation is playing the pre-shuffled blackjack tables where they actually shuffle the cards in front of you and then put them in a shoe versus the automatic card shuffler.
All right, now on to flights and airports. Somehow we always have issues when we fly to Vegas. This time our flight got fully canceled out of Orlando, so we had to Uber to Tampa to fly out. Luckily, we did this early when we noticed they were doing major delays, which is never a good sign, so we decided to switch before they actually canceled it. Thank goodness we did. We went out of the Tampa airport. It was very fast. We went to Cigar City Brewing Restaurant in Tampa. If you are in that part of the terminal, it was fantastic food for an airport. Definitely would recommend. Then we took Southwest straight through and landed us in Vegas, but I will tell you the amount of cancellation and delays that we saw on the screen was insane. In regards to our way out, we did have to change our flight last minute again. We were gonna miss our layover because something got delayed, so we had to switch to Frontier actually in the airport on our phones. Overall, the Vegas airport was fast. We actually had a really good sub sandwich at Port of Subs. I definitely recommend that. We played the slots, but again, probably shouldn't do that. I've actually Googled it. The odds are really not in your favor for the slots there. And then eventually we made it back to Orlando in one piece.
Alright, and as we close out this video, just a couple final thoughts. So, for one, I have gone now 2 years, taken probably 6 cruises, mini vacations, and I have yet to get COVID. However, that all changed with this Vegas trip. I thought I was going to get COVID the second I got on that airplane and headed towards Vegas. We got to Vegas and the crowds were pretty crazy and it was just hacking all over. So just keep that in mind. If you get to get COVID or you're maybe worried about getting COVID, Vegas might not be the right place for you. Other than that, I will say, as far as my room preference, I love Aria. I don't think any of my expectations have changed. Aria was beautiful, stunning, and I just love the overall casino and the overall room. As far as the shows, I mean, you cannot go wrong with either of these two shows. If you're trying to pick one, you can't go wrong with either. If you got multiple, I would recommend doing both. Absolutely incredible. One of my top shows in Vegas. And again, go have fun, enjoy Vegas, have some drinks, and we will see you guys next time.
All right, and the last few thoughts I have, we'll just give you a quick food recap. All the food was really good, other than Smith & Wollensky was definitely a miss for us. Our favorites were RPM Italian for dinner and Sadelles for brunch. That was absolutely amazing. Overall, the crowds were there. It was packed. Vegas is back to normal. The crowds are there. It is no longer COVID life there anymore. As you can tell, Carson literally got COVID there. So if you are worried about the crowds, it is crowded. Overall, we had a great Vegas trip. We did a bunch of stuff and we can't wait to go back next year. Stay tuned along with us. We are actually going to the Bahamas, so we're gonna have a bunch of Bahamas content coming at you. Comment down below what you like to do in Vegas or any comments you may have. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also down below is my Amazon storefront where we link a bunch of our favorite things that we love to bring to Vegas to give us a better trip and things like that. Don't forget to like and subscribe and we'll see you next time.